That is a new crown jewel in the Hong Kong skyline. It is the tallest building in the Hong Kong skyline. And on top of it all, it's a brand new Ritz-Carlton. Tired from work and had to drive slowly because snow. Well, good thing you're driving slowly. Do take care out there. Let's give this a watch.
The Ritz-Carlton Hong Kong is home to quite a few world records. At 118 floors, it's one of the tallest luxury hotels on the planet and definitely the tallest building here in Hong Kong. It has a total of 3 Michelin stars inside, a Forbes 5-star spa, and some places that you just have to see to believe. So, of course, I had to do a full review and another tower climb. I travel around the world and review luxury hotels out of 50 points in 5 categories. The categories, like always, are the ambiance, the room, the dining, the service, and the it factor. I'm not associated or sponsored by the Ritz-Carlton in any way. This is just a review from a guest staying here for the very first time. Now, the hotel is all the way at the very top of the tower from floors 102 to 180.
Oh, okay. So the entire tower itself is not a hotel. It's just the top floors. The rest is probably office space.
18. So this time, let's start at the top floor.
And of course they've got Rolls Royces as part of their...
This elevator ride is 60 seconds all the way to the top, and your ears will definitely be popping. I also forgot to mention everything underneath 102 is just a mall and a movie theater. It's not part of the hotel. All right, let's keep moving.
Oh, it's all shopping mall and a cinema. I would have figured it'd just be office space. That's interesting.
Let's start our tower climb here on the 118th floor, all the way at the
slip
top.
And fall into the pool,
so this is the world's tallest indoor swimming pool here at the Ritz-Carlton. They also have an indoor jacuzzi, outdoor jacuzzi, and a cold plunge, which unfortunately is currently under maintenance. But look at this incredible space. You can overlook the entire city of Hong Kong here. This is the tallest building in the city, and it does literally feel like you are swimming in the clouds. It's generally just a very calm location. It's not too popular.
That's all right.
Also on the...
Then again, it's the Ritz-Carlton, and, you know, not just anyone can stay there. Also, I like that it looks like their wall clock in their gym, I think that's modeled after an AP Royal Oak.
118th floor is the gym. Now, it's not the most spacious, but it does have a heck of a view. Now, there is a balcony out there that obstructs it a little bit, so you can't really see. You have to look through 2 layers of glass here, but it's still up in the sky when you're exercising. All of the equipment is new. It's techno gym, so it's very modern in here. And there's something cool here called the elevated meditation room, where you can go and meditate up here in the sky.
I would do that. I would go into that room and I would meditate. I would sit down and I would have myself a proper think.
Couple floors down now on 116, this is the spa. And they have a few different treatments here I want to talk about, like cryotherapy, a lava shell scrub treatment. A lot of their facials are in partnership with La Mer, which is a very high-end skincare brand. And they also have a diamond facial that's supposed to lift your face without, of course, getting an actual facelift.
Does it involve the actual use of diamonds? I wonder.
Very modern and very dimly lit, and generally I'm impressed with the way they designed it. Let's keep it moving. We're now in the Ritz-Carlton Lounge. So this is only accessible for those who have booked a suite here at the hotel, or if you pay a 1,500 Hong Kong dollars supplement every day.
Wait, 1,500 Hong Kong dollars. Hang on a minute. Just how much does that work into? Where's my currency converter? Here we are. Let's see. Fire this up. 1,500 Hong Kong dollars. That works out to £143.98, or about $192.69. Makes you feel like a diamond. You're rough going in, polished coming out. Shine bright like a diamond.
There's a little buffet, some sweeping views of the city, but really not much else here. It kind of reminds me of a first-class lounge at an airport, but it's just a little bit boring compared to the rest of the hotel.
It's not bad. But yeah, that's not too much different from...
Now, they did let us know that the room
lounge
is ready, but before we go up there, let's talk about the ground floor just for a moment. So over here, they have a flower boutique, which is really beautiful, but otherwise it's pretty corporate and sterile down here, which is the case in most tower hotels. There's a small seating area, but important to note, as soon as you walk into the Ritz-Carlton, they do enforce the dress code pretty severely. So for men and women, I would call it business casual at a minimum, and they definitely don't allow pets.
Yeah, they do. You're not getting in here looking like some sort of slob tourist. You want to stay at the Ritz-Carlton, you bloody well better look the part. See, someone like me who almost exclusively wears shirts with collars, most of the time polo shirts and trousers, and that's probably as casual as I get, I would be just fine. But yeah, you come in with your anime waifu t-shirt or something like that, and your cargo shorts and flip-flops, and like, no. You're not getting in here, mate. You come back when you're properly dressed. Exactly. Fancy hotel, got to be best dressed proper. I could never dress in a suit all the time, too stuffy for me. I mean, the good news is business casual, so they're not asking you to be in a suit and tie or in black tie and tails everywhere. Just, throw on a bit of class with your wardrobe. Just a little bit.
Up on the 103rd floor is the main lobby. So this is where you check in, talk to
You have to climb 103 floors just to get to the lobby.
concierge and get directions around this kind of confusing tower. It's also the central hub for all of the most important places in this hotel, so you can take escalators and elevators anywhere you need to go. So the base rooms here at the Ritz-Carlton start at $550 per night as of this.
That sounds about right for the Ritz-Carlton, the Four Seasons, the Waldorf Astoria, maybe even the Conrad, or something like I don't know, probably not a JW Marriott, but yeah, $550 a night. That's about the going rate. Honestly, it could be worse. Good cardio. Yeah, thankfully you can take the lift.
Recording, but before I show you that, let's go down and give it an ambiance score. That's far from everything in this incredibly tall tower, but those are all.
That's about the price of a Disney hotel room. I think given the choice, I'd rather have the room at the Ritz-Carlton. But then again, I'm a Ritz sort of chap.
All of the public spaces and amenities available to guests. Having spent some time here, it really does feel similar to other tower videos on the channel like the Signal, where it's a little bit more cold and a little bit more minimal. It's missing some of those touches that come with other luxury hotels that give it a sense of place or really a sense of connection with its guests.
I think some of the darker tones and colors, especially wood on the walls, that can help in making things at least a little bit warm. Because if they were to do anything else, it really would just look so cold and sterile. Mr. Fancy, that's me.
So I gave the ambiance a 7.5 out of 10.
Middling fair, I suppose.
There are 312 rooms here, all from floors 104 to 115.
It's fairly decent.
Welcome to floor 113. So this is a base level room with views of the South China Sea. My first take on walking in the room is I'm not super impressed. For example, the wallpapering here is kind of peeling off and just looks a little bit low quality.
Yeah, on that alone, I would expect much better from the Ritz. That is disappointing.
Like it was just kind of placed on there. It's also not very clean. So look at that. That's just from running my hand on the wall for just a moment here, which is definitely not very good.
Oh,
so
that's
they should
disgusting.
do a better job of cleaning the walls in here. Pretty bad. Look at all
Staff, dust that. Do a proper job.
that. Generally speaking,
That is bad. In the old days, especially when Horst Schultz was running Ritz-Carlton, that sort of thing would be unthinkable. It would be unthinkable to allow that to happen. It would not happen under his charge. Really goes to show you how far hotels and hospitality in general have fallen post-COVID. Yeah, for $550 and you've got dust on the walls and wallpaper that's peeling, and this is supposed to be, I think this is supposed to be a brand new hotel or fairly new. I mean, it's not that old. You're right, actually, it's unacceptable.
is a nice room. It's quite small and something looks a little strange with the bed, like it's a little bit lopsided or maybe needs to be pressed a little bit more. I know I'm sounding really critical walking into the room, but for Hong Kong at this price point, there are other very competitive hotels, many of which I've reviewed on this channel, that this just doesn't really hold up. However,
At this point, I'd be going to stay at the Raffles or somewhere else.
you do have that view. So look, I know we've talked about the views quite a lot in this review so far, but you have an equally impressive, incredible view from the
Do
room.
they still have a Raffles in Hong Kong? I can't remember. Let me take a look here real quick. I'll look it up on my phone. I think there's still a Raffles in Hong Kong. Hong Kong. Yeah, they've still got a Raffles in Hong Kong. Yeah. If the Ritz has fallen that much, I'd say go to the Raffles or go to the Mandarin Oriental. Because at least, with them, I would pray that they wouldn't let the sides down, but then again, I've been disappointed before.
They do say the Ritz-Carlton Hong Kong has the best view of the harbor and the city, and I do think that's true. The sun sets right across from the building. It really is beautiful. Let's go into the bathroom and test the shower. Now for the bathroom, which is actually quite nice for this room. In fact, it feels like it's almost the same size as the actual room that you're staying in. It's a dual vanity here with a single mirror, really nicely designed, good high quality materials in here. You've got a rain shower with a very large rain head, we're gonna test that in a moment, and a separate toilet area. However, that also needs a pretty thorough cleaning. This just represents how unfortunately dirty this hotel room really is. So much dust and debris on this metal part here. You cannot even see yourself in the mirror. Look at that. Truly disgusting. I feel like I need to wash my hands. So the shower test is 3 criteria points. That is the size, the ease of use, and the pressure. Let's start with the size. It's a pretty spacious rain shower with a tiny little seat here that you could sit on. Generally, it's bigger than what you find in most.
That is something that you just put the edge of your arse on and hope you don't fall over.
Base level standard luxury hotel rooms. So the size is a plus. Now ease of use is also a plus. If you look at the handles here, they're very easy to understand which is which.
Yeah, that's a good point, Valerian. They need to pick easier to clean decor, but also walls in a guest room should not be getting that dusty. That shows they're letting the sides down on some fairly important details that if you're going to spend that much money per night at the Ritz-Carlton, then yeah, they need to do better.
Which are the handheld sprayer and the rain shower. Hot and cold are very clearly marked and very distinct, and they're easy to turn on. Now let's test the pressure. The pressure is soft but consistent. The one negative is there definitely is some spraying going on here, so it looks like maybe something might be not fully tightened. Overall, pass the shower test. Over here, there's a full bathtub with a loofah, bath salts, a television ready to play your favorite movies, a pillow for your head, one of the most inviting.
Maybe longer.
I turned it off a good amount of time ago and it is still dripping. They should definitely come in and tighten that.
Yeah,
back in the main room now, there are a few more things to show you, including the mini bar here, which one positive for the room, it does have a lot of water, and that's definitely something I look for. A small Nespresso machine over here, a tea kettle, and
you know you're dealing with a fancy hotel when they've got Nespresso machines in the rooms rather than just your bog standard coffee maker.
some Hong Kong branded amenities, which I do appreciate. Now they aren't
Let's go back for a minute.
Lot of water, and that's definitely something I look for. A small Nespresso machine over here, a tea kettle, and some Hong Kong.
Our London vodka for Hong Kong. Interesting. A vodka blended and hand-bottled exclusively for the Ritz-Carlton, Hong Kong at our micro distillery in Hackney, London. Huh. British vodka. Didn't even know that existed. Right, this is like a Motel 6 pretending to be fancy. I don't know if I go that far, but I mean, they are missing some of the finer details that you would think they would absolutely have down pat. Sounds like one of those funny movie mistranslations. Yeah.
Branded amenities, which I do appreciate. Now, they aren't included, of course. The pricing is reasonable, but you open up the drawer, we've got West.
It's like Chivas Regal, Johnny Walker Black Label. Looks like some sort of brandy.
Westernized, international, or American potato chips and a keto protein bar. It also looks like there used to be more in here and it got taken out. So this is pretty sparse. In the mini bar, nothing really too impressive or interesting. Just a couple of different juices and some standard sodas. A little disappointed in all of that.
Too.
They did give us a complimentary amenity here. Let's give this one a try. These are individually wrapped walnut cookies. Definitely far from the best welcome amenity. And not the freshest, but I could be wrong.
Okay, but are they better than the chocolate chip cookies that you get at DoubleTree hotels?
Definitely far from the best welcome amenity.
No?
And not the freshest.
Joe, thank you for the 50 kicks.
Very dry. And not a good flavor at all. You would.
Damn. Okay, so confirmed, DoubleTree Hotel chocolate chip cookies are better. They're not, yeah, these aren't even chocolate that he ate.
I think for the price point per night, they could have a different kind of welcome amenity for you, especially because I booked through my Marriott Rewards program, and they know that I've stayed at many Marriotts around the world, and still there was nothing.
How do you screw up the basic cookie snacks? I don't know. I mean, here's the one thing with Hilton and with DoubleTree is they know better than to fuck up the chocolate chip cookies. Those have always been on offer, and I don't think they've ever changed the recipe, and they're still fantastic, which is really saying something because, you know, DoubleTree is like, I think, one or two classes below something like a Ritz-Carlton, maybe just one class below, and yet better cookies. And probably a better stay experience.
To signify that in the room. But that really is the whole room here at the Ritz-Carlton. I don't know how the score is going to turn out. Before we continue with our tower climb here, the holiday season can be so difficult to find the perfect gift for your loved ones, or especially for those who are always traveling. Let's get back to the review.
That robe.
I'm going to sleep in this bed now, but before I do, I want to call the front desk and order room service breakfast for a certain time tomorrow morning. A little later in this review, we're going to see if the food showed up on time, if it was hot, if it was fresh. I always order the same thing. So let's call the front desk. Yes, hello. Could I order room service breakfast tomorrow, please?
Yes.
Could I order a black coffee and an Eggs Benedict?
I know what time set to your room?
Can we do it for 7 a.m.?
At 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Welcome.
Bye now.
Bye.
Let's get some sleep.
That's nice. And it's got good taste in breakfast with Eggs Benedict. Yes, Eggs Benedict, so good. Eggs Benedict is almost like my backup choice. If a full English breakfast is not available to me, but Eggs Benedict are, I'm going with an Eggs Benedict. Or, you know, there could be days that I'm not in a full English breakfast sort of mood. Definitely go for the Eggs Benedict. Which, actually, now that I think of it, first time I ever tried Eggs Benedict was prepared by chefs at a Ritz-Carlton. It was really, really good. I've yet to have Eggs Benedict. It's on my side quest bucket list. Definitely give it a try. Even if it's just going to a diner, like an IHOP or a Denny's. I think IHOP has Eggs Benedict on the menu, which, I mean, a pretty low bar there, because it is IHOP. But, yeah, give it a try. You won't regret it.
Good morning. So this bed was okay. It's not going to add much to the room score, won't take much away from it. Overall, it's kind of how I've been feeling generally about this room. It's just nothing to write home about. But
I mean, if this were a Hilton or just your standard Marriott, that would be one thing, but this is the Ritz-Carlton. You've come to expect better, and he's not getting better, and that's really disappointing. Have you tried the variants like smoked salmon? I prefer Eggs Benedict with smoked salmon, actually. And I think the first time I ever tried Eggs Benedict, it was on a bed of smoked salmon. And it was divine. I could hear angels singing as I took a bite. $550 for a mid-hotel stay, I'd be pissed. I would too. I would be right proper cross.
let's give it an official room score now and then go see the rest of the hotel.
Wait, what about
So
your
I've
breakfast?
seen many more impressive hotel rooms, even here in Hong Kong, that the Ritz-Carlton just unfortunately does not compete with. The biggest standout to me, how dirty the room was. The wall and a lot of the spaces around the room just need a thorough cleaning. The shower test was of course passed. The bed is comfortable and soft, but neither of those were markedly amazingly impressive. Considering everything in here, it was pretty average for a luxury hotel stay. Now don't get me wrong, it's definitely comfortable and it has everything that you could need. There's just really nothing exceptional about it. I gave the Ritz-Carlton Hong Kong room a 6 out of 10. There are some world-class restaurants here, many of which have Michelin stars. So let's get down there and give them a try. There are 4 restaurants and 1 bar here, ranging from Italian to Cantonese to international. 2 of them are buffets, 2 of them have Michelin stars, and all of them have incredible ambiance and decor.
Let's hope the food is better than the rooms.
So for breakfast here, this is the lounge and bar. It is also on the 102nd floor alongside a few of the other restaurants that we'll see in just a second. This is a full buffet that they have all day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they have some really interesting things here that I want to show you. So one of the staff here has seen the channel and knows how much I love croissants, so they brought out this massive croissant to the table. Now they make these croissants every week for the buffet and put them out, so it's not just for me. And I don't think they want me to eat it. The level of care that goes into making one of these every single week and having it look this good is incredible. They also...
I could almost believe that was prepared by Texans, because that's almost like a Texas-sized croissant. Honestly, that would be a thing for tourists. There's already a thing where, out in West Texas, there's a particular steak restaurant where they do the thing where if you eat this gigantic steak in under an hour, then it's free. Otherwise, they charge you an arm and a leg for the steak. I could see someone in Texas, possibly from a French background, creating giant croissants, and if you can eat it all in under an hour, the giant croissant is free. So, you Frenchies who happen to live in Texas, if you're watching, might want to consider making that a reality. I'm sure the tourists would love it, and you'd probably make some decent money off of it too. You're welcome. Yeehaw.
also have Ritz-Carlton branded waffles here. What a very interesting touch. This is not that hard to do, but it's very rare to find something like this at a buffet at a luxury restaurant. For the brunch here, all of the flavors have been really great. The plating is lovely. You can really never run out of options.
Well, wait a minute. Didn't he... What's he doing down in the restaurant? I thought he ordered room service for 7 a.m. It was supposed to be Eggs Benedict. We never saw the Eggs Benedict. Did they forget? Time skip? Maybe?
This is Tusca d'Angelo, a
Must have been that bad. I don't know.
Michelin-starred Southern Italian restaurant here at the Ritz-Carlton. Chef Angelo is the chef that put the menu together based on growing up in Italy, and he was inspired by legendary chefs like Joel Robuchon. The menu tonight is a tasting menu, an a la carte menu, and they have a truffle special. So I asked for the most popular thing and the dessert to give it a try. So the amuse-bouche here, which usually prefaces the menu in a tasting course, is a cauliflower cloud with caviar on top, and there's some home...
A cauliflower cloud with caviar on top? What the hell is a cauliflower cloud? What, they just take cauliflower and put it in a blender and just whip it up until it becomes almost like a souffle? Is that how that works? And then they just top it off with a small spoonful of caviar? Doesn't sound terribly appetizing. It definitely doesn't sound amusing. I think it's some kind of baked cauliflower. Huh. I'm going to try it once. But if it's supposed to be an amuse-bouche, it, yeah, not very amusing, if you ask me, but that's just my opinion.
Made sourdough bread, which looks incredible. They came out with 4 different types of olive oil and hand-selected the ones that we feel would be best with the dishes that I selected. Really impressive first start to this menu.
All right. Very bougie.
There's a lobster jelly underneath the cauliflower cloud, and the caviar is a really nice touch there as well. With any starter dish, it should always be light to prepare your palate for all of the heavier dishes to come, especially at an Italian restaurant. One of the most interesting things about Tusca is the open kitchen. So you can watch all of the dishes being prepared and plated before they go out for the night. So the main course just arrived. This is a prawn pasta dish, and they've taken 2 prawns and arranged them into a heart and filled it with the pasta here.
Very small portions, very Italian, very European style portions. Quite similar to an Italian restaurant I dined at years ago in Sunshine City in Tokyo, where they had, yeah, I had a pasta dish, I think. And it was a fairly small portion. Being used to large portions, living in exile here in America, I was still a bit hungry afterwards, so I ended up going to a conbini and getting some snacks afterward. How Italian can we get? Give them 4 types of olive oil. Brilliant.
They make all of their pastas in-house, of course. Whoa, that is a wonderful pasta dish. So you definitely want to have every last bite here, not only because it's extraordinarily good, but also because each plate averages around $80 to $150 per plate. Now, the city of Hong Kong is
really
expensive. It's one of the most expensive in the world. Dining is still not.
The small portions are so you have room for snacks. Duh. Oh. So that's what I was doing wrong. Okay.
Usually this expensive, so something to consider. Given how great that dinner was, I cannot wait to try the dessert here. They gave us a olive oil sorbet with...
Wait, what? Olive oil sorbet? How the hell do you make sorbet out of olive oil?
Fresh olive oil over the top. Very appetizing. I can already tell it's going to be citrusy and fresh and really bright. Digging in. The sorbet is so delicate and beautiful. I will say they added some grapefruit over the top of it, and I think the grapefruit bitterness kind of detracts from the dish. It stands alone by itself as a sorbet with the dried fruits on the side. Whoa.
And chocolates. And macarons.
Any other macaron fans out there? I'm a big macaron fan. So the general manager just came out. He let us know that they are...
You know what? Fuck you. Sorbet's your olive oil.
trying for their 2nd Michelin star. And that's a big jump to go from 1 star to 2 star. I've been very fortunate to review a lot of 1 Michelin star restaurants on this channel. This is one of the best, hands down. Can't wait for the 2nd dinner option here at the Ritz-Carlton, Hong Kong. I'm here in the legendary Tin Long Tin, which means Chinese restaurant in the clouds. It is an iconic Chinese restaurant and also the tallest in the world currently. They have 2 Michelin stars that they've had for 13 years, and they got 1 Michelin star right out of the gate in their first year of business. They serve traditional Cantonese cuisine like dim sum and bird's nest. So I ordered 2 of the most interesting things on the menu that the chef recommended. I also got their tea setup. So tea is very important here in Hong Kong. They have very premium high-end tea selections. This is the Jade Cloud Green Tea, and it is served alongside the dinner experience. So I couldn't be more excited.
I'd honestly just show up for the Jade Cloud Green Tea. That looks amazing.
So they brought out some cashews and some XO sauce, which we learned in the Peninsula review was actually brought to Hong Kong by that hotel. I'm a few sips into the tea now, and wow, this is hands down the best tea I've had in Hong Kong, which is saying something because almost every restaurant since I've been here has served really excellent tea. This one is just exceptional. The dim sum have arrived. For those who maybe haven't had dim sum before, it's like a small dumpling, and inside of it is different ingredients. So this is a more traditional dim sum. There's 2 different ones here. The first one is shrimp and lobster.
Oh.
I do like it. I think it's missing something. It's hard to explain. The flavor is not very strong. Maybe it's meant to be dipped. Let's try the second one. So this dim sum, of course, would be considered a luxury or elevated version. You can see there's a lot inside of it. Those watching from the United States who maybe never been to Hong Kong or China, Chinese food is very different in the United States. It's a totally different kind of Chinese cuisine. So
Yeah, it is not like your Chinese takeaway. But yeah, you find a good dim sum place anywhere, mark that in your favorites because it's just, especially outside of China, incredibly hard to find. Well, I say that. Japanese have steamed buns available in a lot of their konbinis. But aside from that, really hard to get good dim sum and good steamed buns anywhere else. But yes, God, I love dim sum. I was just looking at that chart and I'm just like,
Nut.
oof.
this is bird's nest. It is a very rare high-end delicacy here in Hong Kong and also in China. How they gather the bird's nest is they literally climb up to the nest of a certain type of bird who makes their nest out of saliva. It's then harvested from these high up peaks, brought down, soaked, and becomes this gelatinous jello type texture, and they put it into soup. So it's a
Wait. Hold on a minute. You're telling me that bowl of soup there is bird spit soup? That sounds disgusting. Who the fuck would eat something like that?
very arduous, very time-intensive process that has to be done by hand, which is why it's
I think we're obsessing a bit too much over the process here and not really focusing on the fact that that is bird spit soup. That is a gigantic bowl of bird spittle.
so premium and so expensive.
It's almost like that, what is it? The cat shit coffee. The little wild cats that eat coffee beans and then shit them out, and somebody collects the shit and ferments it and turns it into coffee. Shirako exists. I have no idea what Shirako is. Even worse when he said it's expensive. Yeah. Very, very expensive to eat bird spittle soup. Now I can imagine it's a Tex Avery style cartoon of someone squeezing a bird like a sponge. Fish scene. Ugh.
So I kind of figured that the bird's nest, the saliva, would have a gelatinous but flavorless kind of taste. And that's very much true. So this is actually a lobster soup that they use bird's nest in. It's really the only taste and flavor profile here is...
No, I'm sorry. They have ruined a perfectly good lobster by soaking it in the spittle of a fucking bird. Who the hell thought this would be a good idea? Whoever it is, they need to be publicly flogged. Humans really do be putting anything in their mouths. Sometimes, yeah. And in this case, they're doing it to be bougie, to just say, I paid an epic fuck ton of money for bird spittle soup just so I can lord it over everybody else and say how better I am than you because I had this at the Ritz-Carlton. How do we make this lobster more fancy? Oh, I know, bird loogies. It's just so absurd. This is ridiculous.
Lobster, but the texture is like Jello. So the
from a distance, it looks like it's supposed to be just like a French onion soup. When somebody tells you, no, that's bird spittle, I just, no, I'm not fucking eating that. That is disgusting.
chef just brought out their shrimp toast, which is something they are very known for. And let me tell you, it smells insane. So
All
good.
right. Now we are getting back to sanity. Shrimp toast. Okay, it's toast with little bits of shrimp on top. Okay. It's, a bit peasant foody, but, you can bougie it up a bit. It's like Jello, then just use gelatin. I know, right? Or, I don't know, maybe just make French onion soup with lobster. Actually, now that I think of it, French onion soup with bits of lobster in it, that would be really good.
Whoa. Whoa. That is the best thing I've had here. Hands down. Really, really great. Sweet and sour.
A seafood soup, yeah. Yeah, little bits of lobster, maybe some shrimp, and use a French onion soup base. Honestly, that sounds really fucking good right now.
Mixed with the crunch and the umami flavor of the prawn, the buttery toast. That is something I would come back for.
No,
it's
that's
so
good
apparent
eating.
why this restaurant has had 2 Michelin stars for 13 years straight. The chef here is very skilled. Presentation, beautiful. Flavors, immaculate.
that's
A lot of
good.
local
That looks
ingredients.
good.
All the prawns are caught locally, for example. Good local traditions. Popular items in Hong Kong, but elevated literally in the tower, but also elevated to Michelin level. And there's a dish.
I think that's probably what you're paying so much per night for. Since this has really turned out to be such a mid-hotel, you're paying more for the views than anything else. And that to me just seems like a terrible rip-off.
That I've been wanting to try ever since I touched down in Hong Kong, which is the
I hate it when places do that, where they make you pay a premium for the view, and then they cut corners and skimp out on all of the other finer details, hoping you won't notice because you're too entranced by some fancy view. Yeah, it's laziness. And I hate it. It's an absolute rip-off, and it pisses me off every time.
Kong egg tart, but they also brought out some small bites for after dessert. So this is very common at Michelin restaurants. It's called Petit Four, or sometimes a little gift that they give you. They have it in the Hong Kong Star Ferry, some mochi and some cookies. But before we get into that,
Okay.
I have to show you
Japanese-style
this.
bento.
It's a small pastry here that has a cream filling in the center. And they're said, I cannot leave this city without trying it.
Okay, it's a miniature creme brulee.
That has the
Custard
flavor
cream.
and consistency of a shortbread cookie, but it's warm and flaky. That's a great end to an
That does look
excellent
good.
dinner. This dinner is truly
That's a
a
nice dessert.
symphony. I've tried many things I've never tried before. Just a great experience, something I'll remember for a long time. But next, and the final stop in our dining segment, is a world-famous bar. Let's try the signature drink and show you some of the views.
Ah, cocktail time.
Now on the 118th floor of the Ritz-Carlton, so the very
At a bar called Ozone, because apparently we are scraping the edge of the ozone layer.
very top is the Bar Ozone. So this is an extremely different, unique, future-focused bar concept
Yeah,
where they
it's very
combine the
cyberpunk.
traditional cocktails of the past with the mixology.
It has, with the granary and just all of this, it looks like sort of organic cyberpunk. That's the vibe I'm getting from this place.
Of the future. That's represented here in the menu that's interactive and with how the menu was written. Let me read just a little excerpt from it for
It's one of those little things where you rotate it and the image changes, things disappear, things start to move. one of those little motion photo thingies, which honestly you would get those in you would get them inside cereal boxes when you were a child, you know, in the 90s and even in the early 2000s. That, I don't know, seems a bit kitschy to me. Kind of looks like a rainforest cafe. Maybe a little bit. Maybe just a bit. A kaleidoscope? I don't know if it called a kaleidoscope. But yeah, one of those little kitschy things I remember when you were kids, they practically gave those things away.
For you, and you can
Does that count as holographic? Maybe?
get a sense of what this bar is like. Nexus. Each cocktail serves as a conduit, spanning temporal rifts and thematic divides. Here, the tendrils of the past intertwine with the vibrant zest of the tropics, while dystopian shadows meld with flashes of future tropicale. It's crafting a taste of worlds both lost and yet to be discovered.
I'm hearing all that, and I think back to, who is it? Nate, or whoever it was that helped run Martini's bar in It's a Wonderful Life. I hear all that. It brings out that old line from the film. It's like, look, pal, we serve hard drinks for people who want to get drunk and fast. Had binders like that as a kid. I think I had one of those too. I can't remember.
So if that doesn't get you excited to try a drink here,
It doesn't.
I don't know what would. One more cool thing about
A lot of that just sounds like a lot of pretentious bullshit. Like, just whip up a fucking cocktail and make it not shit. Just make it good, please.
Ozone, it is actually the highest bar in the world. Yes, it is the tallest bar in the entire world and has won so many awards, including the best bar in Hong Kong. So they have quite the menu here at Ozone, including these
Well, that's what you're paying for here, pretentious bullshit. But I don't want to pay for pretentious bullshit. I just want quality. I just want a good, proper drink. It's like, do they know how to mix up a good Manhattan or a vodka martini? You know, can they actually, honestly, my acid test for a lot of the fancier bars out there is, do their bartenders know how to create a Vesper martini? Which, if any of you have read the novel or seen the movie Casino Royale, Bond movie, very good one, by the way, directed by Martin Campbell, also directed GoldenEye, one of the best Bond movies. The drink recipe is simple, and it comes out strong. 3 measures of Gordon's gin, 1 of vodka, a half measure of Quina Lillet, shake it over ice, and garnished with a thin slice of lemon peel. In modern parlance, you would substitute the Gordon's gin for Tanqueray or maybe Bombay Sapphire Beefeater. Vodka, I would say go with Belvedere Grey Goose or Stolichnaya. And then Lillet, half measure Lillet Blanc, shake it up, serve with a thin slice of lemon peel. It is a really good cocktail, super strong. Those of you who are lightweights, you might not even be able to finish one. Me, I have about 2, maybe 2.5 of those, and I am done for the night. My test is a hurricane. I forget what goes into a hurricane. But yeah, do they know how to make a good Manhattan? Or do they know how to make a good old-fashioned? And do they use quality ingredients? Do they even have quality ingredients available? And if so, how badly do they mark them up? You know, what at a particular bar do they consider top shelf? Because there's some that they will put things on the top shelf that do not belong on the top shelf. Whiskey, triple sec, fruit punch, not much else, but you'd be surprised how often bartenders screw it up. Interesting. Another one that I'd like to have someone craft for me, that's if I don't craft it myself eventually. A Singapore Sling. I believe it originates from the, I guess it's the Raffles Hotel over in Singapore. Supposed to be a really good cocktail. I've never had one before, but I would like to try one.
very large olives, and a specialty cocktail called the Secret Garden, which is $50 US.
Let's see, what do they put in there? Tanqueray number 10. Okay, so that's Tanqueray's top shelf gin. Grand Marnier, that's fancy stuff, not cheap. Clarified milk. I wonder if is that the same as evaporated milk? I'm not sure. And then chamomile and rosemary reduction. Yeah, that sounds expensive. How much? $50 for this cocktail. I mean, the number 10 gin alone is fairly pricey, and so is a Grand Marnier in large enough quantities. Sounds like a scam item, like those activated almonds, yeah. Yeah, this will really activate your almonds here, this price.
The overall atmosphere of this place is just one of a kind. So that was Ozone, and
yeah, no. Look, the girl DJ, she's cute. Okay, I'd probably ask for her number, maybe try to get a date with her. I don't know if I want to go into a place like this that's got, you know, a live DJ blaring music so loud. It's like, please, let's just have someone at the piano playing the hits, and I just want to enjoy my cocktail in peace. There's probably a reason why there's not a lot of people hanging out here. If it's anything like clarified butter, they probably separated the fat from the milk. Oh, so it's like skim milk, basically.
the final stop in the dining segment of this review. But you tell me, is it a creative reinvention of a bar, or is it a lot of hype and buzzwords?
It's a lot of hype, a lot of buzzwords, a lot of bullshit, and they don't even give you the pleasure of live music. They hire a DJ to just no. This is nothing about this really seems like proper Ritz-Carlton. This would be I could see a place like this at, say, the W Hotel, or one of those sort of hipster-like hotel, either independent or chain. I don't think this is a good fit for the Ritz-Carlton, if I'm being just completely and totally frank, which I am. I'd take an old record player over a DJ. Yeah, it looks like she only had twin CD players to work with.
Either way, let's give this hotel a dining score.
From Tin Lun Hing to Tosca, these were some of the best restaurants I've reviewed on this channel. It makes sense. They have multiple Michelin stars here, and there's options for those that don't want the fine dining route to eat at the buffet. Now, I think their buffets were definitely not as strong as their sit-down dinner options. I gave the dining at the Ritz-Carlton an 8.5 out of 10. Now, it wouldn't be a Ritz-Carlton without the incredible service and their ladies and gentlemen program. Can't wait to see how they do in the service segment. It is 6:57. The food arrived 3 minutes early here, which is great. Always better early than on time or late. The Eggs Benedict is a very full plate. So I've had a lot of different Eggs Benedict at
that does look good.
A lot of different hotels. This is probably the most full plate and heavy plate of Eggs Benedict. We've got our coffee here. Smells amazing. Hot, but not too hot. Really great. Let's cut some eggs. Let's see how runny the yolks are.
Oh,
Get some truffle on top. Nice. So they definitely passed the breakfast test, but we won't know for sure until we give it an official service test. So the service test is the part of the review where I call the front desk and ask for something that they're not used to hearing. Now, it's not about if they can actually do it, it's more about how they respond and if they at least attempt to do it. In the past, I've asked for staff.
That's a decent acid test. With time travel, once again, we've jumped from the evening back to morning.
To all sign a soccer ball in Barcelona, or to make a camera out of chocolate. Here in Hong Kong, they celebrate the Chinese Lantern Festival. It's a huge festival that happens once per year, and I want to see if they can build something like that for me in the room. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, yes.
Okay, perfect. I have kind of a strange request for you. The Chinese Lantern Festival, that happens here in Hong Kong. Oh, hold on. Someone's calling my other line. 1 second.
Good evening, Mr. Walker, this is Leo from our Tumbling Line. As we have received a missed call from your room, may I know how could I help?
Oh no, so I'm on the other line with them right now.
Oh, understood.
Thank you. I know. All right, that didn't quite work. We're going to try again.
Good evening. How may I help you, Mr. Walker?
Hi there. I was on the line with someone else from the concierge.
Understood, and I will put you through to them again.
Okay.
I'm sorry that as
Oh,
we are
good
currently
man.
engaged at the moment. Would you mind I'll have time to get back to you shortly?
Okay, no problem. I'll be here.
Get back.
Okay. Kind of a strange series of interactions.
Good evening, Mr. Walker. This is Leo from our Tumbling Line. Is there anything else we can help?
Sure. Would you like me to explain it to you as well?
Understood. Please allow me to put you through to our concierge team again.
Okay. All right, so now I've been
Bit
through
frantic
two
here.
different individuals that have moved me to different teams, and I'm currently waiting on hold to speak to the person that I originally called that you saw. So
Thank you, Mr. Walker. I'm sorry that they are currently engaged at the moment.
if you could have the concierge call me back, that would be wonderful.
Understood. I'll have time to get back to you shortly.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. That was a pretty
That was quick.
Hello, Sir Ryan.
Sorry, Mr. Walker, we have a call just now. Yes, how may I assist you with the Chinese lantern?
Yes, thank you. I wanted to surprise a friend of mine with a Chinese lantern kind of display in the room. I was wondering if there was any way you had the ability to set up maybe a miniature Chinese lantern or something like that. That would be fun.
Yes, so you would like us to just buy it for you and then display in the room, right?
I trust you. You know, whatever you think would look good in the room.
Because we still need the time to find the paper lantern, of course. So let me just quickly chat with my team and then we will find a way to do it. It's okay.
Thank you so much. Bye now.
All right, so
Does-
rough start, being bounced around as a customer service call. It did start to seem like a fairly regular experience for so-called customer service, but they redeem themselves in the end. This is starting to seem more familiar in terms of what you expect with the Ritz-Carlton. That you can call their concierge and ask them for practically anything, and they will move mountains to get it done.
Sound like they might be able to accommodate it, or at least they're going to try. So maybe we'll get a chance to have some lanterns in the room. Now let's talk about the service generally around the hotel. All of the staff here address you by your last name, escort you anywhere you need to go at any time, and overall are very attentive. In the restaurant, the service is the same. It's very
you would
high-end,
expect.
very hands-on, but a little bit slow.
Wait,
I think
Sparkling tea,
the service is the same. It's very high-end.
Shui Shan tea with bergamot and jasmine, and it's served in a champagne bottle. Interesting. I do like champagne, or sparkling wine, and of course I love tea. I'm an Englishman after all. I think I would love this. I should like to try this sometime.
And very hands-on, but a little bit slow. I think they're just giving you some time to see the views and to soak in the atmosphere. But there
I think his American is showing. He's used to not only good customer service, but also fast service. And yeah, I don't know. Most of the world just doesn't operate that way. You'd expect it to just be a bit more patient than that. So this may be culture clash going on here.
isn't really a text-based system, or maybe there is, they just haven't been using it with me. I haven't noticed much else in the way of additional services or things that sometimes we've seen at other hotels. Overall, I've been pleased with how the staff have been treating us during the stay and cannot wait to see how they respond to that service test.
Kind of like Italy, where the service is slow, but the food is fantastic. Yeah, they make it worth the wait. And we can see that, for the most part, it's worth the wait here.
Very, very nice. On a quick, fast
Okay,
turnaround
wow.
for a short notice, this is really a great effort. So it looks like they put out some champagne. We have this little lion plushie, and of course, the welcome sign. For me, this definitely passes the service test. They really wanted to make sure we felt welcome here.
But wait, is that supposed to be the Chinese lantern, the little stringer thingy? But also, they misspelled welcome. They got the O and the C in the wrong positions. I mean, it's cute. High marks for effort, but
in Hong Kong, even if it was misspelled. Let's give this hotel
Oh, good, he
an
noticed.
official service score.
Yeah, but where's the actual Chinese lantern? I mean, we were promised bloody Chinese lanterns. They tried, yeah.
Technically, this hotel hit all of the service marks for a luxury hotel, from the service test being passed to the breakfast showing up on time.
Technically.
The staff have been attentive, supportive, the front door staff are great, but nothing really left a lasting impression for me. At other luxury hotels, I've built personal relationships with the staff. You know them by name and they know yours. That wasn't really the case here.
You don't sound convinced. Yeah, this is really turned into a mixed bag, and it's sad because I really expected better. You know, if money is no object and I myself are going to stay somewhere, but if I were going to, you know, recommend a hotel for good friends to stay at, where, you know, again, money was no object, I would default to the Ritz-Carlton. But seeing this in Hong Kong, I definitely would not recommend the Ritz-Carlton Hong Kong. Some of these things are deal breakers for me. I don't know, I can be a bit more demanding.
At the Ritz-Carlton, it's a little bit more formal and corporate. With all of that in consideration, I gave the service a 7.5 out of 10.
Mid.
Down in the valet, the Ritz-Carlton had
Oof. I don't know if these are hotel fleet vehicles or if these are someone's personal vehicles, but you have the sort of clientele you would expect at the Ritz. Rolls-Royce Phantom. I think that's a Bentley Arnage.
has similar house cars to that of the peninsula in Hong Kong. The only difference is these ones aren't green. Now, these can pick you up and take you anywhere you want to go in the city for $293 per hour. And the valet is included in your stay. Now, I want to talk a bit about the
Nearly $300 an hour to rent a Rolls or a Bentley. That sounds about right. You chatter like a cat when you get excited. I'll have my moments.
value of that stay. So the price point of this hotel is on par with other luxury hotels in the area, and you do have access to some incredible spaces. However, all of the dining options, the house car options, all have a little bit of a premium because it is the Ritz-Carlton and because of the size and positioning of this building. But generally speaking, I do think it's worth it, if not just to stay in one of the tallest hotels in the world. And now we're starting to get into the it factor. So the it factor is the value, the location, and the indescribables of a hotel. So here at the Ritz-Carlton, the location is really prime. Almost every single window in this building has an incredible view of Hong Kong. So what better way to give this a final it factor score than to go one more time all the way to the top? The views from this tower, the incredible height that we're at, it is just jaw-dropping. Now, I've reviewed other hotels like the Signal in South Korea that also are very high. However, this used to be the highest hotel in the world, and it sets a lot of records for the highest indoor pool, the highest indoor bar, for example. So there are quite a lot of things to bring home and tell your friends and family about. That's really at its core what the it factor is. I gave the it factor an 8 out of 10.
And that was the Ritz-Carlton here in Hong Kong and the end of our tower climb. I definitely recommend to stay here, although there may be even stronger options in the city of Hong Kong that I have on my channel. If you add all of the scores together throughout this review, I gave the Ritz-Carlton Hong Kong a 37.5 out of 50. Unfortunately, it is time to check out. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Ryan Walker.
C grade.
We'll see you on the next one.
Okay. So, ranking below the Wynn in Las Vegas and the Signal in South Korea, and tying with the Ritz-Carlton Dorado Beach, but does better than Disney's Aulani and the Auberge Bishop's Lodge. Interesting. All right. We'll go ahead and drop that into... Let me give that a subscribe while we're at it.